Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Caffe Lena. Thank you for joining us tonight. We are moving away from the regular stay-home session programming tonight to host a virtual art exhibit and fundraiser for a local nonprofit, Beyond My Battle. This was supposed to take place as a physical event, as many things were this spring, and they were forced to improvise, and we are really happy to be able to offer this stage and this live stream setup as an alternative, and it's something that we're really proud of offering to local organizations. We have been doing a noontime broadcast during the week on some weekdays where leaders of local nonprofits will come in and have a conversation with Sarah, our executive director, and it's part of an effort to share this platform that allowed us to get an essential status from the state, and to really make sure that other voices are being heard, and the voices that need to be heard are given a platform to be heard. So that is what we are doing tonight. Martel and Chad from Beyond My Battle are behind me, and they will give you an outline of what the show will be and what to expect from tonight, what you'll be seeing during this live stream. But really, all I'm here to say is welcome to Caffe Lena, and I hope you have a wonderful night and enjoy the show. Thank you.
Thank you, Reese, and welcome to everyone who's listening and watching from home. My name is Martel Catalano, and I am the executive director and the co-founder of Beyond My Battle. We are a nonprofit organization that works to manage and reduce the stress that comes with having any kind of rare disease, serious illness, or disability, both for the person experiencing the medical condition as well as their caregivers. I'm here tonight with my friend and fellow artist, and also a member of the Beyond My Battle community himself, Chad Leonard. I want to open up by just saying thank you to everyone who's watching. Reese mentioned this, but yes, this was intended to be an in-person event earlier this month, an art show, an exhibition, and fundraiser at a local venue. However, when the coronavirus outbreak occurred, we quickly knew that we could no longer do that and kind of put it on hold. We postponed the show, not really knowing how or if it was going to come together. But we knew we really needed to share these artworks and really needed to share these stories and this experience. So a bunch of our volunteers, our board of directors, and of course Caffe Lena stepped in and helped put this together really, really quickly, like within a month's time. So what you're about to experience tonight was a real team effort, and I just want to express my personal gratitude to everyone involved. I also want to acknowledge everyone out there, individuals, families, frontline workers who have been experiencing the coronavirus firsthand. So many people in our community, as we serve those with illnesses and disabilities and their loved ones, have been impacted directly by what's going on in so many different ways, and we want to extend our love to you and know that we are thinking of you. I also want to acknowledge my co-founder of Beyond My Battle, Nell Pritchard, who I wish was here with us tonight. Nell has an immunocompromising health condition, and like so many people right now, has to take extra precautions about just how many people she's around or where she goes. And I think it really speaks to how relevant Beyond My Battle and what we do is to everything that's happened in the last couple of months, and also to just the general resiliency and strength of the chronic illness and disability and caregiver community. We are very familiar and experienced with knowing that each and every day is very, very uncertain, and that's the word that's been going around so much these past few months. We know as a community that plans change, plans get canceled. The general isolation that people feel right now is a sense of isolation that people in our community have felt for months or even years or perhaps lifetimes. So I just want to touch on that because I think that everything that's happened with COVID has really shined a light on what our community experiences on a daily basis. And at Beyond My Battle, what we work to really do is, of course, touch on that general uncertainty and ease into it and familiarize ourselves with the reality of it to accept our health conditions and our circumstances. But of course, it's to really shed a light on the other side of the buried emotional side that often gets not seen on a daily basis when living with a diagnosis, the daily emotional challenges that come with having any kind of medical condition or being a caregiver. So when we created this show, this is our second year of doing it, we knew that this show would really speak to that and that it would shine this very needed light on those stories and that other side that is often untold. So tonight with Art and Heart and Hope, what you'll be experiencing is, of course, not a gallery that you walk through and visiting artwork, but we will be virtually walking you through the artworks of 24 incredible artists, as well as sharing their stories and their statements about how art helps them move beyond their personal battles and how art serves them as a calming mechanism or mindfulness mechanism during challenging times. So with that being said, I want to also let you know that we're going to be enjoying some great live music from local musician Pat Decker. Pat is going to be playing original songs, and he's a blues-inspired artist, which is one of my favorite genres, and I think Chad's too, if I'm right. Yeah,
I enjoy it. I do.
And so we think that you guys will really, really love hearing from Pat. He's a wonderful musician, and we're really grateful to him for joining us this evening, and which is coming to you live from Caffe Lena, which is, as some of you may know or may not know, the oldest operating folk music venue in the country. This stage, well, I guess it's not this stage because there's been a renovation, but the stage of Caffe Lena has seen the faces of Bob Dylan to Don McLean and many, many more. So we are just really, really honored as an organization to have them hosting us and to have had their help putting this evening on. And I'll hand it over to Chad.
Thanks for that intro. That was really good. I'm honored to be here. First of all, I was introduced as part of BMB, and I'm a different part of BMB because I'm here and I volunteer. You use two good words, volunteer and ambassador, and that's a choice that I made to do that because of the reward. And I really encourage those of you listening, if you're part of this and found out about it because you already knew about BMB or you knew about Caffe Lena, thanks for coming and joining us. Do one of two things. Post it again and let people know about it and come and join us. We're going to hear awesome music. I already got to hear like the practice and warm up, and this is going to be really good. And the art that I've seen that we're going to share tonight is really, really awesome. The other thing is down in the bottom right-hand corner, I know on the screen, is two links. The one is for Caffe Lena. It's a nonprofit as well as BMB. And those links are there so you can throw something in the tip jar. It's going to help out the musician. It's going to help out Caffe Lena and allow them to keep continuing through times like this. These are tough times, and these organizations don't have the resources of volunteers that usually come. But you can also volunteer. You can find ways to volunteer. If you're an artist, resources and things that you can do give back to you and not just the organization. So I really encourage you to do that. But most of all, just sit back and relax. Allow tonight to be something that really just gives back to you, because that, I know, is what your desire was. So, yeah.
You want to share your shirt?
Oh, yeah. I had to get one of these because these are the things that Martel has put together. So,
yes.
Definitely, these are some of those things that are linked on the website. Go check them out.
Yeah, we have some other cool merchandise on our site. If donating generally isn't really what you feel like doing, you can also purchase some merchandise, or of course tip Caffe Lena. But I also do, before we move on to our first musical performance, I want to acknowledge the sponsors of tonight's show. We are so lucky to live in such a philanthropic community and to really be headquartered here. So no matter where you are tuning in from, just know that these are some great people. We have Adirondack Trust Company, we have Amsher, NII Platform, Sarah Stacy Cosmetic Wellness Solutions, Harris Perro and Batello. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Batello, Finger Paint, and Saratoga Springs Lions Club, Faces on Beekman, Ruin Realty, Knit, Longfellows, and Advantage Press, who actually made this wonderful sign for us. So, without further ado, I think we'll start with inviting Pat on stage, and I hope you enjoy his first song.
Yes, good evening. So this is an original song I wrote almost 2 decades ago, so I've been bringing it out lately, and it's a song called Smile. We all need to do that right now, so it's an honor to be on this stage right now and in this room. This morning, cloud in the sky, everybody's happy, I don't know why. Maybe it's a pretty bluebird begin to fly. So high like the blue sky. Picking up the paper to come in style. Try and keep up all city slide. Well, then a smile for a while. Something so powerful, change your living style. Deep inside of the heart of mine, right there I smile for a while. Something so powerful, star. Well, then I smile for a while. Something so powerful, changing living style. Everybody smile.
So this is my first time getting to experience you, man, and that was incredible. That was really good. Lyrics to me now are really something that, you know, I was sharing with you before this. Were completely different, and you know that was something that means something so different to me. So Martell asked me to be a part of this, and that first of all was something that was really an honor to be able to do. She wanted me to tell my story, and first of all, Beyond My Battle is something that does that. That's something that she really wanted to do with Beyond My Battle. Besides the resources that are there in all the different aspects, it's an opportunity for us to be able to be either the person that's experiencing something medically, the family member, the caregiver, but to get a story out, just like a song is, it becomes a release of the emotion, and it becomes art. It becomes a piece of art, and that's really what we're going to do tonight. So when she offered this opportunity to me, it's another stage to present art in a healing way. And I really encourage you to go to both the blogs, to the podcast that BMB offers. Hear some more about the things that I've been through. And I'm going to give you just kind of a brief. Medically, I was diagnosed with systemic lupus at age 14, both attacking my kidneys and my brain. And that was one of the rarities, a white adolescent male at 14. And then following that, I began having seizures, epilepsy, destroying my brain. I got on medication, but it didn't really do much for me because though it was thought to end the seizures, they continued in destroying my brain pretty much. I went on with a career and was doing normal things. But I started to have some issues as I got older, and I required brain surgery. Just 3 years ago, this June 20th actually will be 3-year mark. A peach size in my front left temporal lobe, neocortex was removed, and that happens to be the most important part of the brain for a right-handed person. It's been a journey from that point 3 years ago. Memory loss and the things that it requires me to do, but the difference is the right side brain. It's been a lot of artistic adaptations, cognitive therapy, that had me doing things that I never realized were inside of me, but also was a choice. Orientation, disorientation, and reorientation are 3 big words that have occurred. Those words are ones that stand out to me. It's almost what songwriters use almost all the time. It's what his lyrics just were. As he wrote through, it started with his orientation, then a disorientation, and then his reorientation. It's life in general. As I read through all the descriptions that you're going to hear tonight and listen to them audibly actually on the drive here for each piece of artwork, I heard words that were so positive. They started about what artwork is to each one of these people, and then what life has been. It has been something sorrowful were words, darkness, hurt, and pain. And then the outro, that reorientation, the artwork has been to them. It has refilled them, recaptured them, showed them love. That's exactly what it's been to me. It's been something that I choose, a choice, to make sure that I'm not doing art for anything of monetary gain, but that when I make sure my artwork is done for a feeling of peace and restoration, it's something that I can truly just throw in the garbage maybe and not feel anything of loss, but I've gained so much from doing it. To be musically inclined now, to feel it and hear it, it's a different choice. We encourage we challenge you to pursue it. Our most recent podcast talked about art therapy, and it was things that I never really knew. And to hear them now has been incredible. Beyond My Battle offers those. It's offered here at Caffe Lena to come and just hear and enjoy music right now virtually, but I really encourage you to do that. I wanted to leave you with the understanding of what's going on right now in the world, more and more even with the most recent events. It has brought things to the most taut and intense tension. One of two things can happen. It can be turned a little bit tighter and things will snap. Or you can make a choice, and that's your choice that you have to make. And a sound can come out of that very tense string. And it does something like this. It creates music. It really does. He's going to play some music while we step off and begin to read the artwork from a tense string.
All right, everyone. So we'd want to thank Saratoga Film Academy for putting this video together for us. We are about to start sharing our artwork, starting with Chad's.
So I had the honor of doing this piece. I was asked actually to create some artwork and just given a few ideas of what this person was looking for. It's titled The Lion of CJ. I've pretty much just done watercolor for a painting, and the description I did for art is art as a whole has not only become a way for me to manage, filter, and align the stresses that have come with all of my various medical conditions, it has become a required part of my cognitive development following my most recent surgery. Once cognitive therapy helped me realize the abilities my right artistic brain held, I could not stop pursuing art.
So Chad, was this a gift for someone that you gave them?
This was actually one of my first few. So Martel, obviously you know a little more of my story. Art was something more just that came out, and this is one of a first few commissioned pieces actually.
Cool.
People have been able to see art that I'm producing and requested that I do a piece, and
Great.
a few things they told me.
Well, here's our second piece, everyone. This piece is a pastel. It comes to us from Jill Alicia Grubin, and it is titled Just Before. Jill shares with us that she says, I am a caregiver for my mother, who is wheelchair bound, as well as someone living with 3 tick-borne illnesses that mostly affect my nerves. Pastels provide a wonderful and colorful escape in which to play and get dirty. Many of my paintings are of local areas of introspection, serenity, and humor. I love this piece. It's so, like, the pastel colors are so soothing.
I love all the just kind of like scratching back in to do the branches, and
yeah, it's beautiful.
all the blues in the back too, and just the yellows brought to the front.
Yeah, great contrasting colors, complementary colors.
So this is the third piece by Emma Lance, and it's torrential, 35 millimeter film print. I've been an artist for years, since being diagnosed with SLE, also lupus, in 2019. My obsessive need to capture moments has only grown stronger. Photography allows me to rewrite my own narrative, telling stories with art my way. I lose myself in the process of creating a photograph. Shooting a roll of film gives me something to focus on other than chronic pain and the hopelessness it brings. Becoming a permanently sick person has granted me perspective I didn't know I needed. I'm grateful that I haven't lost my ability to see the beauty in ordinary things.
Well, I'm not a photographer, but I know you are, so I think this is really cool. It's like the reflection on the glass and kind of layered on there. It's great.
Yeah, when I read that this was a photograph, it was so cool to know how she captured it, that it was 35 millimeter too. I know that is an art in itself to be able to do
cool.
that. Yeah. Really like the angle too.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So this piece is very relevant, obviously. It's kind of, for those of you who don't live in Saratoga Springs, this is a local statue. Obviously, this is C.A.M. Cameron's take on it. The statue's normal name is The Spirit of Life, and her work is titled The New Spirit of Life. It is a watercolor, pen, and ink piece on paper. C.A.M. Cameron says, "Art has always been my primary source of expression, whether drawing, painting, or writing. When I had to stop writing and editing in print media due to neurological issues, drawing and painting found me, and I'm fortunate to have pieces on view at many local businesses and at Silverwood Gallery on Broadway in Saratoga. I hope local businesses and our community will be able, to recover from the damage COVID has done to so many aspects of the city and its residents," which is a very touching statement.
So this piece is by Donna Gione. Is that how you say her last name? You want to correct me if I'm wrong?
Giannone,
okay.
I think.
Classic light, and this is acrylic. Art has given me the opportunity to work together with other people in and around the local communities, from art centers around the area and local schools. It really makes me feel very important to be able to express myself through art. Art has given me a chance to show off my talent. I enjoy teaching art to other people, no matter who they are, and have met good people while doing so. Art brings out the best in everyone. So one of the things, I'm just gonna share my experience of shadowing, and her shadowing in that is really good. I like the light coming down in the background and on the.
This is one of those pieces that, like, from far away, it looks totally real.
Yeah.
And then you get close and you're like, oh, it's actually in a painting. I think it's beautiful. I love the cloth on the bottom. And I did a lot of still lifes in college, just, color theory and charcoal, whatever, still, like all the different kinds of still lifes. And I really love the colors of this.
It's really good. Just that upper lighting coming through from the top.
Well, this is a special piece. This is our only poem in the evening. It comes to us from our friend, poet Brian, and his poem is called Glad to Be Sad. His description says, "I was 12 years old when depression arrived in my life. That was also when I began writing poetry to find my way through the darkness. Poetry is central to my healing journey. It is a creative gift that offers me joy and hope. In sharing my poetry in Brian's Poetry Oasis podcast and Caffe Lena's open mic, May it bring the same for others. And I'm going to read Brian's poem. When I'm in a funk and my emotions are stalled, I quickly grow tired of my cheery facade. That's when a love song, a vista, the perfect poem that describes what I feel, release all those tears that have been pent up inside. The news is still bad, but if I try not to resist feeling sad, I can't lessen the sting, I can let go of suffering. And as I go through it, difficult as it may be, someday I'll look back and it will make sense to me. So I'm glad to be sad. I'm ready to accept and embrace it. I'll choose neither flight, or to fight, just enough courage to face it. I'll bear the weight of my sorrow from beginning to end. How could I ever abandon myself when I'm in most need of a friend? Just so beautiful. Thank you, Brian.
I like that one. Kathleen Larman, and she did her work titled Poppies. It's mosaic glass. Mosaics are very soothing. If your strength comes in spurts, you do your cutting then. Otherwise, you are thinking and planning for your next project. Creating brings satisfaction. That's such a clear statement. I really like how she wrote it, too.
Well, yeah, and I've never really done mosaics, but I imagine just like the cutting of glass has to be very hard, but therapeutic, excuse me.
Yeah. And of course, that little guy at the bottom is awesome.
Yeah. They really look like poppies too, which are some of my favorite flowers. Perhaps my most favorite flower if I had to choose a flower.
Really?
Yeah, I think I like peonies, but I also love poppies. I love that you can see the little how she's captured here, that inner dark piece of the poppy flower. This piece comes from Olivia Wolferts. It's called Feathers, and it's done with alcohol ink. Olivia says, when it comes to navigating the difficult waters of chronic illness, painting is my haven of escape, purpose, and joy. I have been battling chronic Lyme disease for 4 years, where the majority of my energy and brain power is spent simply navigating the basic tasks of life. Isolation and mental fatigue are huge factors, and it can be a daunting task to stay positive and hopeful. For me, painting has not only become a prime way for me to stay sane and cope with the difficult and often depressing realities of chronic illness, but also to redeem the time through creating something beautiful. Painting has changed the game for me, and art has become one of my favorite modes of self-expression and healing.
This is one of those mediums that I've really been drawn to wanting, I've been drawn to going to next.
I've never done it.
Yeah. I think it's one of those where you can just start with no desire after or where it's going.
You're kind of helpless in the way that it moves, and it's up to them.
Yep.
That's our first break. We're going to move to Pat for another song.
See the lights and the cars pass by. Wonder where they're going to have a good time. I don't need it in my life. Won't leave this town. Yeah, gonna let you down. Yeah, I'm gonna leave this town. Mom and Dad are gonna make you proud. See, you had a chance to leave this town a time ago. Then I met a girl, you know how that goes. the Holy Lord. Give this man another chance to go explore the world. I'm gonna leave this town. Yeah, I'm gonna leave this town. Make you proud. Yeah, I'm gonna make you proud. In a song, if you got bipolar, all I really wanna do is leave this joint. Come a long way from 8 years old. 33, I think it's time to hit the road. I'm gonna lead this town. Make it proud. And I'm gonna make you proud. Mom and Dad are gonna make you proud. Ooh, I'm gonna make you proud. Gonna make you proud. Doing all the originals this evening. There was another original song.
Here we go. Thank you, Pat. This is our next piece. It comes from Stacy Ballard. It says, oh wait, you're supposed to read this one.
Doesn't matter. We're pretty comfortable with each
Okay,
other now.
cool.
So
I'll read this one.
It's up to you.
It's called #IamNotExpendable. It's mixed media on Canvas. And Stacy says, I have had health issues since I was 9 years old. I have had 20 surgeries, including an organ transplant, and I spent over 2 months on a ventilator in ICU. Every time I was in the hospital, I'd have coloring books, watercolors, and colored pens with me to keep me occupied. Through all of the trauma, depression, and anxiety, art was and is my North Star. Creativity has saved my life on so many levels that I now teach others who are living with chronic illness. That's awesome.
Yeah, when I heard, I already told you I listened to this like audibly, and when I heard that, this is my North Star, that was such a cool statement that she wrote even.
Yeah, and obviously
this
this
piece
is another
is like,
very relevant piece, yeah.
It's when you're like so vulnerable,
Yeah.
right? And she was so willing to just do this self. It was so cool. So this one's from Nansen Serian. Is that a good way to say it? Being. It's cool, the hyphenated word being. And it's a photo, so she's a photographer. Instead of defining my life by my disability and chronic illness, I choose to live in gratitude. Big word, capitalized gratitude. This simple choice alters my perspective on everything, including time. Living in the moment is a natural response to appreciation, and being creative results in fully experiencing the present. One avenue for such mindfulness is photography, which requires stillness, attention, aesthetics, imagination, respect, and regard for the subject. This lens allows my daily joy to blossom, even though my physical restrictions could easily have been allowed to constrict it.
Perfect statement for everything we do at Beyond My Battle.
Right?
Yep. A lot of our tools and our resources are rooted in mindfulness, so really helping people with chronic illnesses understand the value of the present moment and how that's such a healing tool in and of itself. And it's a beautiful photo.
And the bee is such a good representation
Yeah.
of the work that it takes.
Yeah. This comes from us. This comes to us from our friend, Lenka Halakova Simmons. It's called Diexa. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And it's acrylic on canvas, which is really impressive with all those details. Wow. Lenka says, art is a way of being free, a way to see things in a different way. Art is being happy and sad, heartbroken and in love. Art is everything we hide and everything we share.
Of course, I'm a fan of the eye.
Yeah.
And I saw this, it was like, I couldn't believe, one, acrylic, and then it's just amazing.
Yeah, that spin effect is cool too. I wonder, Lenka, you have to start spinning your pieces. Put them on records, maybe. That would be pretty awesome.
If she does. I wonder if she does.
That would be great.
I've seen that done with acrylic, the spin effect. Yeah, it's a really cool piece.
Yeah, Lenka does a lot of these. I actually follow her on Instagram, and she does, like, all of her pieces are variations of the eye. And I think she has that condition where she actually, in addition to seeing color, she feels it. So it's pretty cool.
Wow, very cool. All right, so this is by Jean Francois, Falling to Pieces, and it's a mixed media. The art of detailing how you are surviving your illness is like a jigsaw puzzle, one piece at a time. The first part of any year for the past several years has been particularly difficult, and it has felt like piecing myself back together time after time, season after season. The pieces still fit together, but it is tiring doing the same motions again and again. My puzzle is no longer the picture on the box. I prefer to remake my puzzle self into something that works better for my harder days, a more fluid self. Creating a puzzle me helps me deal with the difficult emotions of illness. And that puzzle is beautiful.
So it's mixed. I assume it actually is puzzle pieces that are kind of like combined with paint, and looks like maybe some gesso or something in the upper portion. It's really cool. Really, really interesting. It looks like it's coming forward.
It's almost just like perspective, right?
Yeah.
You have to change perspective.
This next piece is from Amanda Ballargian. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's called Serenity, and it's a watercolor. Art helps me express my feelings and work through how I feel at the time. It brings me to my own little space in my mind where I can have my feelings show through. My art helps make my anxiety calm and makes me feel more peaceful. Art has opened my ability to express myself, to be comfortable talking with people, and it helps me feel a part of the community. Participating in art exhibitions shows people that I can do what I truly love, even when some people say that I can't. It shows them that anyone can express what I truly love in a positive way. I feel like this is like a special, like, fairy land, like a little place that someone would escape to go find some peace.
I know, and it's almost like the mist rising off the water, and it almost looks like a waterfall to me in the background. Just the lighting and really cool color. This one is Patricia Cornute, Wrapped Up in Emotions, acrylic and resin. I'm really excited to try some resin. For me, making art is like therapy, tuning out the world and just letting go. A huge sigh, a big exhale. It is peaceful and playful, a way to release energy into your work while getting energy out of the work. Patricia has a condition known as lipedema and is the founder of Lipedema Fitness, a support group on Facebook for those with the condition.
Cool. Yeah, I've seen some really cool resin pieces. I also love that Patricia said, like, taking a big exhale, because that is something that, if you know me, I do like 10 times a day. I just release like a really loud, audible exhale, but it's so soothing, and it's like one of my go-to stress management tools.
Yeah.
It's so awesome that she said that.
Yeah, breathing is super important. pouring is so cool on that.
So this next piece is from Jessica Stratton. It's called Illumine, Blue and Orange. It's a photograph. Wow. Creating art is a mental distraction from the constant worrying about one's medical condition. When I create, my mind stops focusing on how my joints feel or what will happen if I become immune to my medication again. This work focuses on using the part of my body most damaged by my illnesses to create beauty. The work complements my mindset around illness and disability. How can I take something I despise and turn it into something I love? Using a variety of light sources, a self-timer, and a tripod, I work to capture images that transform deformations, awkward bumps, and lumps into aesthetic wonders full of light, shadow, color, and mystique. And I just want to say that Jessica's story, along with Chad's, are in that most recent episode of our podcast. Jessica is not only a wonderful artist, but she is an art teacher.
That piece is just one of those things, mind-blowing. It really is. It's incredible.
So when we did the live show, we learned afterward that there was a glitch in the internet, and this next piece got all but missed, which we were really, really sad to hear, and sorry to Judd. This is from Judd Eason. It's called Ink, and it's acrylic ink and alcohol ink on cardstock paper. Judd says, "This art is a form of breath control meditation. I use my lungs, mouth, and breath to blow inks of various viscosities to create images. Steady airstream makes long lines. Sharp blasts create ink explosions. The result is precise." Judd was diagnosed with Parkinson's in 2012. He began breath painting shortly after his diagnosis. He feels compelled to create as an artist and also finds the creative process alleviates many of his symptoms. People see insects, birds, trees, and more in this art. These impressions are similar to seeing images in cloud formations. Compositions are inspired by Arabic, Chinese, and Hebrew calligraphy, petroglyphs, and whimsy. Thank you, Judd. And now to our next song from Pat.
Sweet day we were born, a perfect time for me. Oh, 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 my soul was warm. This inch of every day the song. This one was out to be, yeah, my 6-string guitar. 'Cause we on the night. 'Cause we own the night. I said it's hard when you're singing in a rock and roll band. Supper, baby, yeah. Oh, I try the best I can. 'Cause we on the night. 'Cause we on the night. See, it's hard when you're singing in a rock and roll band. Supper, baby, yeah, try the best I can. 'Cause we on the night. 'Cause we on the night. 'Cause we on the night. 'Cause we on the night.
Another great one by Pat. Pat, if you could see us, we're actually like have our sway on. We're in another room, so thank you, Pat. So this is a piece by Nicole Westfall, and it is titled Cure Beach. Nicole just had a simple statement: when all else fails, art. So many of us know that do art, right?
Yeah.
That was a great statement.
And I love those scattered stars. Very organic, and like they look like they were splashed right on there. So I really, really love this piece. That contrast, actually, of the stars against the dark sky. They look super real.
I know, right? I've tried them a few times in different pieces, and it's like that's what you can't do. The patternized, it's hard to break that.
This piece is from Trisha Westfall, and it is called Rays of Light, Wave of Peace. It is also a painting. I think these were both acrylic, if my eyes are correct.
Yeah, it looks like.
Yeah. And Trisha says, when the pain and the frustration are overwhelming, it helps to create something peaceful, warm, and happy. And I think that's really true for so many people. We create like our happy places when we paint.
Yeah, emotion comes out in art. Almost those desired destinations, the desired places.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful destination.
Another lion.
I'll go there. So this one is by D. Renee, and it is Lion, acrylic on canvas. I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes as a child, and although so many other people suffer from this and other diseases, it can often feel very isolating. I constantly worry about my current and future health and how I will afford the things necessary to keep myself healthy. The anxiety from these thoughts can feel like it's burying you, and you can start to spiral. But painting gives me freedom. Painting for me is how I release that anxiety. It is cathartic. All of the emotions pour out onto the canvas and help me find peace.
What are the odds we would get two lions?
The lion is such a figure of like
Strength, really.
strength,
Yeah.
right? And
So much
restoration and
depth
protection. Yeah. And that's a great, the eyes.
in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. There's a lot of texture.
Really cool. Great color.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love this piece. It's from Donna Potter, and it is called Give Love. It is acrylic on canvas. I have a friend locally who does similar kinds of dot paintings, and I imagine that it is very peaceful and meditative to do. She says, as I'm a member of the chronic pain community, managing life with complex, painful medical conditions is a lonely place to live. Art therapy helps me to cope with a life in pain and helps me to raise awareness for conditions such as endometriosis, adenomyosis, I think I'm pronouncing that one correctly, and LPHS. I'm not sure what LPHS is. I'm gonna have to check that out after this.
I know we're so used
All
to
the acronyms.
acronyming our DXs,
Yeah.
right? We even say DX and RX, and
I know, they all kind of blend together after a while, the acronyms. But this is great. This is so cheery. Donna had a piece in our show last year.
I really like the blending. And again, I still haven't tried any other mediums, but
Yeah.
I see them, and it's definitely something very cool. So this is Chris Mcelroy, Finding Love and Hope. It's a mixed media. Creating art has been a way for me to both cope and manage a life navigating and managing living with multiple chronic illnesses and disabilities. Engaging this creative outlet has helped me to explore the relationship with myself and my life experiences, helped me find my voice and communicate in a way I have not been able to otherwise. It has been one of my greatest expressive lifelines. As an artist, I'm always challenging myself through pushing the artistic limits and boundaries while trying new techniques and continually improving on the old. That's a great artist challenge too, right? Just not to get
Yeah.
satisfied, always to push yourself and challenge yourself. And
Yeah, I feel like the rainbow of colors too has also been a real theme recently that I've been seeing in a lot of artworks.
yeah.
All right, so our next piece is a collage. It comes from Mary Tipton, and it's actually called Vision Board 2020. Mary says, art helps me because it makes me zone out of my anxiety and depression. I don't think about things that stress me out or make me upset. I don't get worked up when I am doing my art. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so sometimes I may get a little worked up if something doesn't work out perfectly on a piece I'm working on. But I don't get stressed because I know what's meant to be will work out how the piece is meant to look. The pieces always come out how they're meant to come out. I'm a bit of a loner, and art helps me express myself. Yeah, that's that creative brain.
Yeah.
That little bit of introversion that often comes with being artistic. It's nice.
I like the contrasts of the different photos that she has in there too. They're all kind of very similar, and then she just has those random contrast pieces, the car.
Yeah.
And
That's a great quote too. It really definitely embodies so much of what we do. So thank you, Mary.
so this piece is by Christopher Fulner, and it's titled Raging Heart. It's a painting piece. Christopher Fulner takes the pain he's faced in his 40-year battle with TBI, that's a traumatic brain injury, and shapes it into unique art that reflects the struggles each day brings. Working on my art helps me destroy the pain I feel inside. It helps me find freedom and maybe understanding. It's not pre-planned. I'm not good with premeditated art. It's all inside me.
That's great. I love that he does it just kind of spontaneously.
Yeah. Tried that a few times. It's difficult.
I'm not that person.
It feels really
Yeah,
good.
it
What he
does.
stated is exactly what. It's
Yeah.
almost where I've just put water down and just dropped color in and let it go.
Yeah.
See what happens.
This last piece comes from Dina Ziskin Fortune, and it's called Soul Butterfly. It's an oil painting. Art has helped me express myself beyond words to manage stress. I was born with a partial thyroid. The stress that I manage comes comes in challenges with communication and how I process information. I've been fortunate to find relief through dance, painting, sculpting, and jewelry making. I have been able to access other parts of myself and my imagination to explore other ways to connect and make sense of my story. Art has helped me view life from other perspectives by exploring various states of consciousness and archetypes. I started to explore other ways to understand the symbolism of having half a thyroid and how to heal from a sense of lack. I became drawn to butterflies and the notion of transformation and how to embrace and love myself with my imperfection. I keep finding new ways to express, one layer and color at a time.
That's a great closing statement that you had there. That patience of layers and colors at a time. That's a lot of what the watercolor has been for me. You can't try it all at once.
Right. Well, that's it for our artwork portion of this evening. We want to say thank you to the artists, the sponsors, the Beyond My Battle community, and everyone who has helped out, our volunteers. But we will be having another song from Pat now, and then we'll be back on stage to just conclude our evening. So please stay listening. Here's our next song from Pat.
Sometimes you might have to move home with your mom. You're anything like me, you roll, you like a bomb. Sometimes your life might need, in a cold bag. Thing about life, when the closest one more opens, there's no place like home. The Adirondacks is the place I roam. Man runs out of chances, and gets himself in trouble. Don't never hesitate to call your mother. She keep you warm, keep you warm for all of her days. Give you guidance, give you shelter, help you find your way. There's no place like home. The Adirondacks is the place I roam. There's no place like home. a place I roam. Ooh, yeah, yeah. It was another original song called No Place Like Home. Hope you enjoyed that one as well.
So that is it for our evening tonight. Oop, I'm speaking into the wrong microphone. That is it for our evening tonight, everyone. We want to thank everyone who's watching from home. This show would have been nothing without you guys all watching. We also want to thank Pat Decker. That every song was so great, really, really awesome.
Yeah, that was really good music, man. We were having a great time back there.
How can people listen to you? Like, are you online at all? Like,
Yes, Facebook, I have that. And
Okay.
YouTube, all sorts of stuff. And John Griffith, Bar People, you can find everybody's videos on there.
okay, cool. So Facebook and YouTube. Yeah. And we also want to just give a last thanks to our amazing sponsors. We would definitely not have been able to do this without you. Thank you to our artists. Thank you to our volunteers. I want to say a personal thanks to our board of directors and Caffe Lena, of course. We certainly would have not been able to make this possible without this incredible venue and the help we received, especially from Reese. So also a reminder, if you're interested in contributing to Caffe Lena or the musician, there is a link at that URL there, the beyondmybattle.org/art2020, as well as other ways to give. We also received a couple questions in the chat about whether artwork is for sale or not. Currently, none of the artwork is for sale this year just due to the circumstances of the coronavirus and all that goes with that. But we did receive a couple donated pieces that we will be putting up for bid. We don't have pictures of them currently. One was actually just dropped off earlier this evening, and it's absolutely beautiful, from one of the artists in tonight's show, CIM Cameron. And we will be putting those pieces up. I'll be sending an email around. So if you're interested in bidding on those pieces or checking them out in general, again, at that page on our website that's listed below, we do have an option if you scroll to the bottom to sign up for our newsletter, which is where we will be notifying people about those pieces. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you all so much. Yeah.
Yeah, we can do one more song from Pat Decker. Let's do it.
Oh, I would cheer him back on.
I think we have the time, so stay tuned if you want to listen to one more song from Pat. I know we'll all enjoy it.
Thank you. It's Caffe Lena, so we're keeping it the original, and those are all instrumental originals during the art show, so I hope you enjoyed them, and come out and see me, and you can hear them live, and be safe. Hope to see y'all soon. Here's no story about my life. Oh, Funny how music makes you get up and sometimes stand. Let me see you. You feel it too. Let me see you. Feel it too. Let me see you. Do you feel it too? Let me see you. You feel it too. Funny how music makes you clap your hands. Funny how music makes you get up and make romance. Let me see you. So you feel it too, yeah. Let me see you. Can you feel it, baby? Let me see you groove. Stay safe, everyone.